golden child little sister tried to unalive me because I took away her spotlight at my wedding, so I put her in jail for a 12-year sentence. My little sister Ava has always been what someone would call a attention seeker. She needs attention on her at all times, and my parents didn't exactly help with humbling her. Every event had to be about her or she'd absolutely freak out. At every single one of my birthday parties, she'd blow out the candles and have her own presents, and God forbid she had to watch someone else get something she didn't have. I felt like I was invisible growing up because my parents hardly cared about my achievements or my events, as they were always focused on the attention Ava deserved. Ava was extremely premature and even died 5 times as a preemie, so my parents treat her like a little angel because they almost lost her. So whenever Ava acted up, they turned a blind eye. Ava even had a nasty habit of trying to take the attention of anyone who tried to even look in my direction. Every single boy I've dated suddenly ghosted me and started showing up at our house asking for Ava. I was sick of it, so when I was 18, I distanced myself and went to a college out of state. I found the love of my life, Kyle. They're now 6 years later, we're getting married. His family became mine and I finally felt accepted somewhere. So when it was time to compile the guest list, I decided that it was time to see my family again so that they would see what they were missing out on. Kyle even insisted I invite Ava because he wanted to be the one to finally put her in his place. It was the perfect day. I walked down the aisle, saw Ava huffing in the third row with my parents trying to calm her down, and met Kyle at the end. We both were in tears by the end of the ceremony, and when it was time for reception, I thought everything went exactly to plan. That's when Ava struck. She came up to me, and in the most sincere tone ever, she congratulated me. My jaw literally dropped. That's when she offered me a glass of whiskey and made a toast to her beautiful sister and her handsome groom. I was a little sussed out because she had never been this nice to me before, and that's when I went to drink the glass. It smelled a little weird, but I always get a little sick from alcohol, so I drank up. I started to feel a little woozy and felt my throat closing up. It should be known that I have a severe allergy to lemons. I looked at Ava and she held up a lemon in her hand. I started panicking and holding onto my throat, and Ava just walked away to Kyle. She even twirled her hair at Kyle while I was literally dying. Kyle looked my way as soon as she came to him and ran to me with an EpiPen. I had to go to the hospital because my throat was extremely damaged and had to miss my honeymoon. So when the cops came to my room asking me what happened, I told them exactly what happened. Ava poisoned me. You should have seen the way my phone blew up. After Eva got arrested, my parents were calling me a monster for turning on my own blood. Ava even decided to get one of my exes to be her lawyer, and all he could say during court was that I was a jealous liar. The trial was obviously pretty short. Guess who's going to jail for 12 years? Ava. Chapter 2: The Silence After the Storm. The antiseptic smell of the hospital room was a stark contrast to the scent of wildflowers and citrus that had filled the air at my wedding. I lay in the stiff white bed staring at the ceiling tiles, each one a perfect square of institutional gloom. The physical pain in my throat was a constant, low throb, a cruel reminder of the moment my own flesh and blood had tried to erase me. But the silence that followed the gavel's final bang was far more terrifying. It wasn't the quiet of peace. It was the suffocating, heavy silence of a world that refused to believe the truth. The first few days after Ava's sentencing were a blur of medical tests, police interviews, and a barrage of calls and messages that I couldn't bring myself to answer. My phone, which had been a source of joy and connection, was now a digital tomb. The screen was cracked from where I'd hurled it against the wall in a fit of rage the night the verdict was read. Guilty on all counts, the headline had screamed. 12 years. She would spend the prime of her life behind bars.